letting our butter kind of soak all the aromatic flavor. Now we baste, letting all that aromatic penetrate inside your steak. Hey guys, this is Chef Loic, a pro chef from the DMV. Today I want to show you guys how to make the perfect medium rare steak. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so the first step for our steak, we're gonna go ahead and get our pan hot. We want it super hot, super hot. Alright, so our pan is hot, so you can see it's smoking here. So I'm using blended oil. Clarified butter is just fine. I definitely do not recommend using canola oil. That's not the right oil. I'm using blended oil, so it's a mixture of vegetable oil and olive oil. Olive oil is fine too. Clarified butter works best. So we're getting our pan hot, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna season our steak heavily with so I'm just using salt and pepper, right? Start with some salt. We want this pan to be like very hot because we want to get that crust like right away, right? Go ahead and land. You hear that sizzle? That's what you want. And I just kind of like use my hand and just like kind of press down to make sure I'm getting an even sear on all edges of the steak. So I'm searing on the high heat. I'm making sure to sear on the high heat just to make sure I create like a good crust on the steak. I really get a nice caramelization, because if you just put it on the pan and your pan isn't quite hot, it's gonna steam without getting that nice crust on the outside. And that caramelization adds more flavor to your steak. If you're doing this at home, your smoking alarm is probably gonna go off. That's a good thing. And now we flip. And I'm just gonna kind of press it down to make sure I'm getting a good sear on the whole surface of the steak. And you can like move it around also, just to make sure you're getting like a nice sear on all edges. I would say once you put it down the first time, I would say let it ride for like 90 seconds and flip it and let it ride for 1 minute, just like I did, and let it rest. So for a steak this big, we're probably gonna go ahead and sear this guy 3 times, well 2 times, and we're gonna baste it with some aromatics. That way we're letting the heat slowly penetrate inside the steak. We're not rushing the heat inside the steak, right? Slow cooking is the best cooking, so you don't want to rush it. You want to take your time with it, let the heat slowly get in there. Okay, so you can see like the juice is kind of like out, like kind of like oozing out here. So that's like the juices in the steak that kind of like rushed out of the meat, kind of because of that heat. So we let it rest so it can kind of like go like kind of relax, and then we're gonna sear it again. So that's slowly introducing heat inside the steak, and you're gonna get that beautiful medium rare once you slice it. You'll see. So we're gonna go ahead and get our pan hot. So I cleared my pan, got rid of the fat from the First Sear, and we're gonna go ahead with some fresh oil. This Second Sear is gonna be a little bit quicker than the first one. So the first one was 90 seconds on the first side and 1 minute on the other side, right? This time is gonna be 1 minute, 1 minute out. And again, it depends on how thick your steak is, right? It depends on the cut of steak you're using also. If you're using a ribeye, the time on the sears will be longer. Instead of 1 minute, you may wanna go 3 minutes, right? Now if you're searing like a tomahawk, you may want to use the oven. You may want to pop that in the oven for a few minutes. Okay, so our pan is hot. Now we'll go ahead and land for our second sear. And as you can see on my second sear, I landed the steak on the second part that I seared on the first round. So because that end didn't get enough crust, so we're gonna start with that and build more crust on that side first. Okay, so that was 1 minute. So we're gonna go ahead and flip it. That was another minute. So now I'm gonna pull my steak out. I'll let it rest. So that was the second sear right there. Another 1 minute on each side, about a minute on each side. So we let it rest again. And we're gonna go ahead and baste it with all our aromatics. So I have some butter here, some smashed garlic cloves, some thyme, some fresh thyme, and a little bit of fresh rosemary. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of check the temperature of our steak right now. So looking at it, and feeling it, it's like rare plus. It's like almost medium rare. It's like we just gotta kiss it just a little bit and it'll be medium rare, right? So I like to use a cake tester to check the temperature. So the way you want to use your cake tester is you want to poke it on the thin side of the meat. You want it to go in there, and you let it sit for 7 seconds. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you want to grab it right where you poked it, pull that out, and temp this part right here, So it's like slightly warm. So like I say, rare plus, so almost medium rare. The common temperatures that we know are rare, medium rare, medium well, and well done.
Congratulations! Outstanding! Amazing! Astonishing! Phenomenal! Extraordinary!
Right? Now, well done, obviously, as we know, is you cooking jerky. You're cooking beef jerky. I'm sorry, you are cooking beef jerky. Hey, you like what you like. I'm not judging. Now, if you go in a steakhouse or a Michelin star restaurant, the cooks are actually more skilled to the point where they can tell like the temperature even between like medium to medium rare, which would be medium rare plus. You know, the temperature between rare and medium rare, which would be rare plus, which is where we are right now. That's like going even deeper into the level of experience and knowledge as far as cooking a steak and giving guests that perfect steak. Okay, so for our third round, we're getting our pan hot. We add even less oil this time because we're gonna use butter as well. And for this round, you don't want your pan too hot. Why? Because we are adding butter. That's just gonna burn the butter. You don't want burnt butter. You want it to just melt. And we're gonna add our aromatics, our garlic. And you just kind of melt all that together. And we're gonna add our herbs. So I'm basically letting all the aromatics infuse into our butter. Letting our butter kind of soak all the aromatic flavor. And now we add our steak. Now we baste, and I'm gonna show you guys what basting means. This is what you call basting. Just basically giving your steak a butter bath, right? Letting all that aromatic fat kind of penetrate inside your steak. You know, fat equals flavor, right? You're just getting more aromatics and more flavor into your steak. And that's it. You don't want to overcook our steak though. That's good to go. And we'll let that rest. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and cake test this steak one more time. So I'm gonna poke it right in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's medium rare. It's like not hot. It's warm. That's what you want. That's medium rare. Whether it's fish or even a vegetable, you can tell with a kick tester if it's cooked through or not. I'm much rather using a kick tester than using a thermometer. Thermometer works great, but you see how thick that is? You poke that in here, it's gonna release a lot of your juice, right? So I recommend a kick tester. It requires a little more experience, but you know, you don't lose any of the juice of your steak, right? This is more advanced. For a steak this big, I'll say let it rest on a rack, for sure, a rack. The reason why, if you don't let it rest on the rack, it's gonna steam underneath and it's gonna ruin your beautiful crust, right? So on a rack, and I would rest a steak this big. This is probably like, I think this is probably like a 10-ounce steak here, 10 to 12 ounces. Let it rest for about 5 minutes. Yeah, just to kind of allow all the juice to go back and relax. Because if you were to sear that right now, everything would just come out because all the heat just kind of like rushed the meat. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and slice our steak. I recommend using a sharp knife so you can get some clean edges. You can get some clean cuts. So as you guys can see right here, that's what I mean by not rushing the heat inside of your steak. So you see there's no brown edges. The color is even. It's even all throughout. There's no brown edges. That's what slow cooking does to your steak, right? You get a perfectly cooked steak. Take it.
Delicious.
Just a little bit more salt and a little bit more pepper. All right guys, and there it is. Just like that, you have your perfectly cooked medium rare steak. All right guys, so here we have it, our perfectly cooked medium rare steak. So as you guys can see, I sliced against the grain. You want to make sure you do that. Now make sure that your steak isn't too chewy. Let's dig in. I mean, let's give it a try, right? Oh my. Get some of that juice. That juice. Yes, sir. Man, it's freaking delicious, yo. Try it out. Let me know how you guys steak turned out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you guys.